So an intangible asset is an identifiable non-monetary asset without physical substance. We all know the meaning of without physical substance. Two new parts is non-monetary and identifiable. So when I say non-monetary means opposite of monetary. So what is monetary? It is money held. So suppose you have cash, okay, it's monetary asset. Also, it refers to assets to be received in fixed or determinable amount of money. So first of all, it is an asset which is to be received in a fixed or determinable amount of money. So can you give me what could be examples? So I wrote your loan. Is there any other asset which is monetary in nature?
Debtors receivable.
Yes, accounts receivable. Okay, so loans, accounts receivables, these are examples of monetary assets. Now an intangible asset is non-monetary. So very clearly, you will not have items which are, these are actually accounts receivable, loans, these are part of your financial assets. So intangible assets are non-financial assets, they are non-physical assets. Okay. Now the next part of the definition says the word is identifiable. So when I say identifiable, it can come because of two reasons. First, I'm going to take this part and then we will go to the first part. Okay. So I'm looking at the A part and then we look at the B part, although it's in the other one. It arises from a contractual or legal right, regardless of whether those rights are transferable or separable from the entity or other rights and obligations. So if you have any asset that comes from a legal right, it is an intangible asset. If you get any intangible asset which comes due to a legal right, it's an intangible asset. For example, if you purchased a software, to purchase a software, you have an invoice. Okay, so it is coming from a legal right because you purchased it. So that software is an identifiable intangible asset. Okay, so like this, everything that is purchased, bought out is part of your intangible assets. But the next part says separable. So when I say identifiable, it is either A or B. Everything that comes from purchase from outside, okay, from a third party is an intangible asset. I mean, it is an intangible asset without monetary substance, non-monetary, and arising from a third party because of a legal right. That's identifiable. But there is also one more definition that can meet the standard, which is, what is it? It says it's separable. That means capable of being separated or divided from the entity and sold, transferred, licensed, rented, or exchanged either individually or together with a related contract, asset, or liability. What does it mean? Now let us look at Bata Company. Now, how did Bata brand come into picture? Did Bata Company buy it? Did Bata buy the brand? What are your thoughts? Do you think Bata Company would have bought the brand?
No, it is generated over a period of time.
I think they built the brand.
This is internally generated. So now we are trying to test, can Bata brand be part of this definition? It says that it should be capable of being separated and divided from the entity and sold. No, so now suppose Bata Company decides, I want to sell my brand Bata to XYZ. If brand Bata is sold, will Bata Company legally exist?
No.
You can call it by another name, but not Bata, right? So that is why this is not capable of being separated or divided from Bata and sold, transferred, licensed. Okay, either individually or together with the other assets. So if that is the case, Bata brand, which is developed internally, cannot be said to be an identifiable asset because it didn't come from a legal right, but it has come internally generated. So that is, if any asset meets with the definition of A or B, you can call it as intangible asset. Okay. So now, when you talk of intangible asset, the asset must be controlled by an entity due to a past event and from which future economic benefits are expected to flow. The normal definitions that we saw before, an entity controls the asset, that means it has a power to obtain future economic benefits flowing from the underlying resource or restrict the access of others to those benefits.